And thank you for your service.
Exactly. Okay, privilege of the floor. Anybody else? All right, not seeing anybody else, we'll close privilege of the floor. Number one, proposed resolution amend 2024 budget for probation department for DCJS pretrial service award.
Good afternoon. I'm Gilbert Taylor. I'm the Director of Probation.
Sam Zafuto, Deputy Director of Finance.
Sam, you're here for everything.
Lately, it seems that way.
He's been incredibly helpful to our department, so I appreciate it.
Okay, guys, what have you got?
We respectfully request you approve this resolution to, I better put my glasses on, to increase our appropriation account and increase our revenue account by $43,034. We will use this money to purchase a new vehicle at no expense to the county because the grant allows us to do that. What we're hoping to do by this is to raise this, increase our revenue, so we purchase this vehicle. We no longer have to pay for a leased vehicle that we would have to get in October if we didn't purchase a vehicle. So this would remove the expense to the county because the grant would cover it.
But basically, budget neutral.
Yes.
It's budget neutral for this, and the maintenance going into next year, we are gonna defer some of this revenue. It's gonna cover the maintenance and upkeep of the vehicle as well over the next two budgets as well.
Okay. Committee questions on this one?
What do you use a car or something, or?
Yeah, it's to purchase a new vehicle. It's, we just purchased those Dodge Durangos this year. This will be an additional one because prior to that, we were leasing a vehicle. With this money coming in, we can get rid of the lease vehicle, purchase a new one, and then we're done with the leasing. And because it's no expense to the county, it actually helps us. And when you see me around budget time, you'll also realize we'll be saving money on mileage because this will increase the availability of vehicles for our department.
Could you purchase that lease vehicle at a cheaper rate?
I did not look into that.
Like, dealers love to get them back, if then they turn around and flip and make $6,000-7,000 on it.
The problem with that lease vehicle is it's kind of a not great vehicle, not for what we need.
Can you give me an example of how it's used in probation?
Sure. Our department has to go out and do field, in New York State, our regulations require us to go out, for a low-level offender, we have to go out and see their home about once every quarter. But a high risk, we have to go see them in their home every month. We do things called give impact details where we go out with law enforcement and we look for chronic offenders in regions. So we're actually going to the homes of people that are
Okay.
convicted of crimes.
Okay.
Committee, any other questions?
Just to get back to what Legislator Landy said, that quite often in leases, you can buy the vehicle for residual value. And, I mean, it's apples to oranges, a used vehicle versus a new vehicle, but it is a vehicle that we've used and we know what the problems and so forth are, so.
I think part of this too is he's also looking at the trade at the end of this. This vehicle will have a higher trade when it comes time to do this as well over.
This purchase vehicle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I'm just saying, you know, you'll still have, yes, it will have a higher trade value than purchasing a used vehicle, but, and I don't know if the grant, if it would be eligible buying a used vehicle on this grant or a new.
I think we could buy a used vehicle if we really wanted to, but when we compared the prices, I did not look at what it would cost to purchase the lease vehicle. I did not do that, didn't even think about it. What I was thinking is purchasing that 2025 vehicle. Right now, we're paying roughly $5,900 a year for the lease vehicle. So I'm looking at if we leased it out over 5 years versus the buying the new vehicle and the cost over 5 years. But then at the very end, what would we be able to sell that or trade that
Oh, sure,
vehicle
it
in?
would be worth more.
And the current vehicle we have is a Ford Escape. And the resale on that Ford Escape is really quite horrible compared to the Dodge Durango.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of, what I want to do is I don't want to leave a vehicle that's not going to do any benefit for us. We did purchase a vehicle from Mental Health last year, 2017. It will have absolutely no resale when the time comes to get rid of it. So I kind of want to leave us in a better position at the end. And I know that might not be the way some people think. I just worry about that down the road.
Well, if the grant's paying for a new vehicle.
every penny. Actually, it takes the cost of the lease vehicle, which I believe is a total county share, and throws all of the money behind this grant, and it's really a win-win for us.
Yeah, it is.
Any other questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Ladies.
proposed resolution number 2, amend 2024 budget for Office of the Sheriff. What, you guys are gonna be here for a while.
Not if you don't have a lot of questions.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair.
That's why he's the sheriff.
Really. Guys, go ahead.
Oh, I'm being informed I have to introduce myself.
You do.
Sheriff Jim Quattrone.
Riley Enlow, Fiscal Supervisor.
Go ahead, Jim.
The first resolution we have in front of you is to amend the 2024 budget for the Office of the Sheriff for the Grants Department. We're looking to increase our appropriations $220,657 and increase our revenue accounts for expected revenues based on the appropriations we're planning on spending, up $220,657.
All within account 3110.
3110 grant, yes.
Okay. Committee questions on this one? Pretty self-explanatory. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next, we have proposed resolution, authorize agreement with Clymer Central School District for school resource officer.
Yes, this resolution is for a new school resource officer. It's a little different than the other 7 that we have in the county right now. Technically, it's called a special patrol officer, which will have the same duties as the school resource officer, but is a part-time position paid on an hourly rate and will be assigned to the Clymer School District. With, and this is for September 1st through December 31st. Not to exceed $25,853.
Jim, did we have anything in Clymer this past year,
We have not had
fall
any. We haven't had anything in this Clymer for several years.
That's what I thought. Okay, so they're back on,
That is correct.
okay.
What changed that they wanted to come back on?
Unfortunately, I think too many targeted acts of violence around the country, and just out of an abundance of caution. Yes, I think a financial. New York State, about 5 or 6 years ago, I believe, enacted legislation that we could do the special patrol officers with a requirement that it's somebody who is retired from law enforcement or retired from corrections can serve in those roles.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I got
Mr. Nelson?
Why only half of the year, and are they planning to look into maybe another extending it to the full year?
This is to amend our budget, so we will include this in the 2025 budget as
Oh.
well.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking at
Good question.
School year, that's.
Yeah, it'll be the full school year.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, next, number 4, proposed resolution, amend 2024 budget to implement the Outward Mindset Project using funding from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA.
It's, this resolution, again, is using ARPA funding to provide training to all of our supervisors, both on patrol side as well as in the jail, on the outward mindset leadership training. This is something I was hoping to get for every member, the leadership for our supervisors, and then the outward mindset training for all officers. But because of the costs, we're going to start with the leadership and look for funding for future for the rest of the agency. But this not only is a great leadership and training, it also helps with de-escalation skills in working with our community and our public and looking at things in a different way. So it's a kind of a unique training for law enforcement, but something that has been shown across the nation to be effective in preventing resistance, lowering the number of lawsuits. And not that we've had a lot of lawsuits, but we would prefer not to have any. And if we can prevent that, that would be a benefit to the county. And so the ARPA funding is $90,419 to complete that training. And it's not only the 2-day training, we're going to do 2 different cohorts of that. And then there's a year of coaching afterwards as well.
I think this is a good thing.
Thank you.
How many people will be trained?
25. Yeah. And we might be having 1 or 2 extras in with that training. I know there was another police agency that wanted to jump on with us, but it's per student is the bill, so it's not like that we can just fill the class with people. So hoping to see this grow throughout the county.
It's better to be proactive than reactive. There's something we can do ahead of time
Yep.
to help prevent some of this stuff that happens. We're heading in the right direction.
Agreed.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Committee, anything else on this resolution? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, next we have a discussion, regarding updates in the sheriff's office. Jim, you'd like us to go into executive session on this here?
Yes, sir. With the Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, I'd ask that we would go to executive session because the confidence in the safety of law enforcement issues and making our job more difficult and the community more at risk if we were to continue on public.
We will do so also under Article 105 of the Open Meetings Law for authorization for executive sessions, Section C that was just provided to me by Olivia.
Section 1C, yes.
So, okay, could I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Folks, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, we'll go into executive session, Jim, and then we'll see the film here.
Okay.
Folks, so anybody that's not part of the committee or part of the sheriff's department or the legislative staff will have to exit at this time. Thanks. Nance, you can stay. Nancy's new to the legislative office. That's Nancy.
She already saw it at home already.
No. This will be a first